Peace, y'all. This is Coach Nick. I'm with the marketing department here at OYO Enterprises. I'm here with the proud and mighty founder of OYO Enterprises, Amari Kensei. What's going on, my brother?
Man, blessings, brother. Everything is well. We going to the top right now.
No question, no question. So we got a very important guest today. He's actually a personal friend of mine, and he's been in the crypto space um, for a relatively short time. But he's amassed, a wealth of knowledge in about 8 to 9 months. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get what we're gonna do in this episode. We wanted to start first with somebody that's been in the space. They got a pretty robust portfolio. We want to figure out how we got started in this education process. But this is my brother and friend, man, Elias Hendricks, man. Elias, man, what's going on, my brother?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Man,
It's always good to be on here, man.
no doubt, no doubt. So yeah. So the first question is, how did you get started in cryptocurrency? Who introduced it to you? What was that whole process like?
So I came to crypto from just kind of an amateur stock trading background. I was always in stocks, options, and all these things, and uh, I got into crypto because I was looking at different stocks, and on the trading platform that I had, they had some options to look at crypto. And I bought a little bit, and I was looking at the gains, and I was like, "Well, this is strange. This is moving. It's a little bit volatile, but it's moving to the positive side pretty consistently." And once I transferred a certain amount of my portfolio over there, and I saw the gains. I was like, "I need to study this a little bit more." And a friend of mine from Altamont, where we went to school, I remember a few years ago. I want to say it was like 2015 or 2016 at the beginning. He was just like, "Man, you got to buy some Bitcoin." And at that point, it just sounded like gibberish. But now I'm looking at it with fresh eyes, like, wait, there may be something to this. So I started studying, and uh, I look for, I initially started looking for Black people in the space
Mhm.
that are in a similar position to myself, right? And what I found was a couple of groups of Black people in cryptocurrency that were able to kind of point me in the right direction, right? And I just kind of observed for a couple of weeks and found a guy that was able to help me, just teach me more about the space. So he taught me the basics, what is a Bitcoin, what the blockchain is, why it's different than, you know, the securities world, all this stuff, what is a Satoshi? Uh, and then when I started getting into it, because really it was this world that was being built, you know,
Mm.
he introduced me to another fella that really helped to advise me about the ins and outs and still does. I mean, we meet twice a week.
Yeah.
So at that point, once I got enough knowledge and an understanding of what these concepts meant in my brain, I went ahead and started investing. And you know, I invested as much as I felt comfortable with, saw some gains, reinvested those gains, and just kind of incorporated that, some basic investing strategies within the crypto space, while also trying to stay true to what it is that this evolving crypto world is.
Mm.
And it, from that point to this point, it's just really been about studying and accumulating assets that I like, that are based on what I have in my own personal financial goals. You know, and it's kind of it's working out for me. I'm still ever cautious. And I'm trying to always look for the next thing, but I'm also really grateful to have a balanced portfolio at this.
Okay, cool. And we're gonna tap into that later, the different coins that you like.
Yeah.
Anytime you have an investment portfolio, you got short-term strategies and
Yeah.
long-term strategies. So we're gonna get into that. But I want to dig more into how important you said you still meeting with your mentor, you know what I'm saying? In our space, we call it a jetna, you know what I'm saying? So you meeting with him twice a week. So
Mhm.
can you speak to how important it is to find somebody that's already well versed in that space and meet with them on a consistent basis, I would assume, especially in the beginning.
Absolutely. I can't stress you enough how important it is to find someone that is knowledgeable, but more importantly, someone that you can actually trust.
Gotcha. Yep.
Right. So I would take someone that I could trust with less knowledge than I would take someone with more knowledge that I don't know where he, stands or
No
he
question.
stands. So, and especially when you're in the beginning, because you just need the basics to get started, right? So like in anything, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, you know, mentorship and apprenticeship is kind of the way that historically people have learned anything that they have done. So it's no different in the crypto space. Find yourself a mentor, find someone that you can trust, get the basics, and take those basics and build your own financial strategies.
So let's talk. Let's talk about that. So as you're getting started, what is the process like? Is it like you just jump in and you start investing? Were you doing a lot of research, or how did he get you started?
Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Like I always tell a lot of people, people have this idea of cryptocurrency as this very cryptic, obviously, world, what I'm saying, where you have these, moon and sushi and, ass coin, crazy stuff. It sounds and seems crazy. But what I try to get people to understand is people like you just jump in investing. Nah. Find yourself the most basic thing, the most well-known thing in this space, and just mess with that. Invest your money into Bitcoin or maybe Ethereum and start studying. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need a lot of education to know that Bitcoin is a store of value and that it's something that is essentially the new gold standard. You don't need a lot of information to get started in that. So get your basic understanding, invest yourself in Bitcoin, and now start studying your altcoins. Now start studying other avenues within this cryptocurrency blockchain world that could possibly also make you money.
Word.
Right.
But if you didn't do anything else over the past 3 or 4 years, Bitcoin has given you a 300% return on your investment for the past, I mean, 5, 6, 7 years. So you know what I'm saying? Like I have nothing else. Like I really don't. There's not a lot of a sell that if you can't understand the intrinsic value of Bitcoin,
For sure.
that then maybe we should, you should look at doing something else. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
Let's talk. Let's talk. If you don't get that, let's just talk about the Lakers. Like, let's talk about like how's LeBron doing? Is he back yet? You know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So so with your experience now, how do you find the discipline to stay rooted in the understanding that you have and not be swayed by any of the outside hoopla that comes with, trending coins and things of that nature? Like, how do you not get swept up by things of that nature? Or does like your fundamental understanding in Bitcoin and just the blockchain in total, does that anchor you so that you're not swayed by, these passing trends?
So, I mean, I put it this way. I'm not gonna bring up any particular coin, but I feel like to be swayed by a trend is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just cannot be anything more than you can't move that whatever you've invested in into anything more than a short-term investment. You're right. If you're going by a trend or a trend coin or whatever, you need to have a real plan, an exit plan. You need to know exactly at what point you're going to get out, and get your money and move on. And the grounding happened. The lack of grounding would happen if my portfolio was all trends and no substance. So that's why I always tell people, get yourself some Bitcoin, get yourself some Ethereum, get yourself some gold standard coins, because even if you aren't anchored, your investment portfolio is anchored.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying? And,
Right.
and there's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a trend, because marketing is a real thing, especially in this technological world. You can make some serious gains on those things, but you need to understand what they are. Because if you're looking at say a Dogecoin like it's Bitcoin, and you don't know the difference between the two, then
Right.
your understanding of the space is what the problem is, not the coin itself.
Come on.
That's
Yo, I'm about to start snapping. That's like that was some deaf poetry right there. Yeah.
No question. No question. So let's dig into that, man. So you were talking about gold, right? So, we all know the history of this country, you know what I'm saying? Like the sister Miss Roberts was talking about, there was a certain time and period in this country where everybody had 3 weeks and they had to give up all of their gold. You know what I'm saying?
In the 20s.
And then fast forward, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, all the gold is gone. Nobody know what happened to the gold. I mean, we know what time
Fort
it is.
Knox, I mean, someone just knocked on the door and just,
What gold?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why is it different, or what is different about this new trend with Bitcoin? I know a lot of people are calling it digital gold. You know what I'm saying? So what's different this time around? Do you think it's more the same? Is it more secure? Is it less secure? What are your thoughts on that?
Security is a sliding scale, right? And also current, people compare Bitcoin to gold, right? But you got to look at what commerce is and trading is like from a historical standpoint, even before gold. There is no standard of currency that does not change over time.
Yeah.
So don't look at Bitcoin or gold or anything like this can't change. You know what I'm saying? Or that at some point we might find a better, more efficient way of doing what we need to do, which is trade goods for services, right?
Right.
So with Bitcoin, at the moment, it's the new kid on the block. It's new gold, and the technology is on an internet that is has gone from obscurity to we're completely dependent on this thing that we're zooming on right now as a part of our everyday life. And it's taking this internet and creating a blockchain, which is like a QR code for every transaction that makes it more efficient for people to do business. So Bitcoin is just a more efficient way of having a gold that's online that you can track. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
In this new technological world. If the internet was around when gold was being used as a standard, I don't think the gold will be the standard that people have it as today. You get what I'm saying? Because technology wasn't there to be able to provide something like Bitcoin as an option.
Wow.
So in a way, and this is just my own personal opinion, in a way, Bitcoin is the gold of what we have at our disposal today. Given all of the technology we have, this is what we've come up with now as a new thing. Now, it may not work. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever happened to, remember back in the day in the internet world, there was a whole bunch of different types of computers and all this stuff, like, Intel chips and stuff.
Right.
Phones, like some things don't work, right? But chances are, if you invested in Microsoft or Apple way in the beginning, the biggest players who've always been the biggest players, you end up winning. Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're probably gonna be okay. Chances are.
Straight up. So, well, go ahead, Amari. I know you got a question, man. I'm chomping at the bits, man. But go ahead. I know you got some question for the brother.
No, so I was just I was gonna ask, do you see some of the reports have been like on the Bitcoin level, that Bitcoin will probably go up above like 250. And so have you, just with the trend or just with the numbers, just the percentages, as Bitcoin goes, percentage wise, Ethereum goes past. So in the same block of time that a Bitcoin will go up 100%, Ethereum will go up 300%, but it doesn't look as fantastic to you because the numbers are lower. And so because of the utility of Ethereum, outside of Bitcoin's use of being able to do, payment transactions, things like that, but Ethereum actually being like a base for other platforms to ride on, and be created out of. Do you see Ethereum surpassing Bitcoin one of these days?
I mean, my portfolio hopes so. You know what I'm saying? But the way I see it, Bitcoin and Ethereum are inextricably linked.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Bitcoin's gold, Ethereum is the dollar, right? And essentially, that's how I think about it, right? So, will the dollar surpass gold? Maybe for a time, but in reality, both of them need each other to be able to be viable, and every other coin needs Bitcoin to be great. You know what I'm saying? So I think that thinking from in my mind, the question itself, will Bitcoin pass Ethereum? Will Ethereum pass Bitcoin? That is a question that I don't really ever really like to think about, because at the end of the day, both of them should be growing
Right.
together. And
Right.
regardless of if one's higher than the other, is higher than the other, they're both going to go up. So be happy about that. Be happy about that part, if that makes any sense. So to answer your question directly, yes, I think that there's a possibility that Ethereum could surpass Bitcoin. Do I think it's probable? No.
Got you.
But there's a lot of growing room for Ethereum right now. Like Ethereum is super. I think it's undervalued just because of the gas fees and where it is right now. Bitcoin was undervalued at not 4-5 grand, 6-7 months. Look at it now. So these runs can happen, and Ethereum's run can go straight to $100,000. Who knows? At some point, and then Bitcoin will have to then catch up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So and so just, I don't know, just from hearing you talk, just in terms of what we're saying about how value moves, right? When we think about currency, it's linked to a current. You know what I'm saying? To like a current being a current that is not mobile, that is not moving, dies. And so the currency that we interact with and that we use, it has to be in circulation. And so when we talk about any of these coins or any of these monies, it's like none of these are to be like, yo, let me get some Ethereum and just sit on it forever. It's like, no, these things are to be used to amass, to be built, to build other things, to amass and then build more, and to create a cyclical kind of situation where everything is in circulation. And so I say none of this stuff is to become Uncle Scrooge, right? And have that big room of gold coins so that you can go swimming in. Like this is to be used to circulate, to develop, to grow, to build things. And so and if it's used in that manner, if you coming into the digital space, not just to be like, yo, I own 100, but it's like, nah, I had 100, I put it into circulation again, built more, but then built structures around it as a result of it. So I don't want to get into your business, but like, what do you see as some of like the long-term possibilities for African people moving into these spaces and dwelling in these spaces?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Let me see if I can start at the beginning. Um, what do I think about African Americans getting in space and not just buying and just having an Uncle Scrooge, coffer of coins? Like, okay,
Right.
yeah, okay, I can't get none of this. Can't have it.
He got
It's
the
gone.
laugh. He still got the laugh. That's crazy.
I
Yeah.
got you. Okay, now, okay, this is the way I see it. Now, I am a what they call HODL holder. Like I like to think about my investments in this space long term because I feel like the ecosystem is being created for the world at large. So I don't want to lose too much of my assets and as long as I still feel like that's a possibility, right?
Right.
So to buy and to hold and to accumulate is really important because, you know, the space is new and it hasn't matured yet. So holding until maturity is
Mm.
is very, very, very important. A lot of people will take their coins, spend them, use them, and like so basically trade their coins for service and things like that. I can do that. I still do use my Ethereum, to do certain things, but there's not enough in the space really to do yet. Maybe in 2 or 3 years, with PayPal and Cash App and those things, you'll be able to do a lot more transactions. And when that day comes, I will circulate more. But it's for me, it's more about what my coins can do for me themselves than it is about transferring these things into services, right? And that came from getting to a point where my coins have matured to a place where I was like, okay, I'm working with some profits. Let me take a few of these profits and make these coins work for me.
Right.
Meaning, if you have Bitcoin, you can actually borrow against your Bitcoin.
Mm.
Actually, if you have some Bitcoins and things like that in your wallet, say you have, two Bitcoin, you can borrow against that. You have Ethereum, you can borrow against your Ethereum.
Ooh.
There's some strategies out there where when it dips, you can borrow against it, and then as it grows up, you can pay it off, pay it off over time. Some people do that strategy. You can take your coins. Let's say you take Ethereum, you can take your coins on platforms, change your Ethereum, half of your Ethereum into a coin, and earn rewards for that, while still having your Ethereum itself growing at the rate that Ethereum is growing.
That's major.
And these concepts that are here in this space are concepts that are used by individuals in the banking world already.
Right.
It's not
Right.
as if they're like, oh, this is a new concept. No, this is just a concept you don't know about because you don't have enough money to be a player in the system that they're going to call on to do these types of things.
Mm.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, man. Well,
So your freedom is this space is so new that they need as many people as they can to participate in these things. So it's open now to the lowly investor. You know what I'm saying? Not the conglomerate. They are in there too. Don't get me wrong. And
that's
you
right.
want to find the ones that the corporations are in, so that you could get that level of security. But like you said, not just buying a piece of Ethereum and being like, I got an Ethereum. Have your Ethereum, really have your Ethereum, but you got it now. Now study and try to find ways in which that Ethereum can accumulate money for you on top of the coin's growth.
Right. Ooh. Oh man. Nick, you got something?
Yeah. I got about 5 in the chamber, man.
Oh,
but I mean, so the first thing I wanted to back up a little bit, right?
Right.
So can you speak to, you know what I'm saying, what we're talking about as an industry? You know what I'm saying? So like when I started, I think it was a audio book called The Infinite Machine that was talking about Ethereum or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people in foreign countries, the inflation rate was so crazy. You know what I'm saying? If they left their money in the bank account, it was basically like they was losing it at ridiculous rates.
Yeah.
And not only that, in foreign countries, they have restrictions on how much money you can withdraw. You know what I'm saying? So they started getting into those crypto spaces because it gave them more power and everything like that. And then inside the states, I know Bitcoin had a major jump in 2008. You know what I mean? We all remember that, you know what I'm saying, with the corporate bailouts and all that, people losing their 401ks.
Wow.
So they lost confidence in this concept of centralized finance, centralized banking. So can you talk about cryptocurrency and what it means when we're talking about this decentralized space?
Yeah. So lack of confidence was the driver for it in 2008 because of the crash. And I would probably say that confidence really hasn't really returned since
Right.
then. You know what I'm saying? Fool me once, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So there's been no reason for any confidence to be restored in the centralized banking because the exact same things that happen in the real estate market are happening in the financial market right now.
Come on, man.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, remember that GameStop revolution? They just said, nah, we're just gonna shut it down. Yeah, y'all can't do this. No, thank you. Y'all can't be a part of this that we do all the pump and dumps that we take advantage of on a daily.
Come
You know, you
on.
get what I'm saying, right? You can't do that. You know, and also, you know, you talk about not the latest tax rate that's being passed, right? The first one that people try to forget about under Trump, $1.2 trillion to banks and corporations, tax cuts. You get what I'm saying? Remember all that?
Right.
So if you are worried about your confidence level in the financial system, it is continuing to do the same thing over and over and over again. So enter pandemic, people got a little stimulus money. You know what I'm saying? They were like, well, let's try the Bitcoin out because, you know, give it a shot. And it's also been boosted by the institutional support of it. That's the difference between Bitcoin now and Bitcoin back in the day.
Right.
Every major institution, every major bank, every major corporation, everyone's scrambling to put Bitcoin on their portfolios, right? Everyone. And there's a guy that I listen to a lot. His name is Michael Saylor, and he's MicroStrategies. This guy is buying Bitcoin like you would not believe, and took his company from a few million to $1 billion. You know what I mean? Just on Bitcoin. And if you listen to what he says about Bitcoin, he thinks about it in this macroeconomic way. That'll give you a more practical way of looking at what it really is. You know?
Wow. That's and that's major too, because I remember years ago, after all the banks tried to position themselves and they put out all the false propaganda saying, you know, cryptocurrency is a scam, you'd be dumb to buy it, got all the people to sell their stuff, and then they came through and swiped it. And so so that they could now be able to have a PayPal where they can offer you, they can offer you pretty much shares in the coin that they own. You can't buy your own shares through PayPal or Robinhood. You can, you know what I'm saying? They'll leverage their
buy
own.
their shares.
Exactly. And so, but I remember the conversations because my teacher, you know what I'm saying, my OG who brought me into the Bitcoin space or the crypto space, he was like, you know, he's been in it since like the very beginning. And so when those banks started to put out the propaganda, they also started like actively seeking miners and people who understood it. And like, yo, look, how can I put 10, $100 million on this? I'll give you a piece of it. You be a broker. Just figure out how I could get it. And they just started trying to like get offshore accounts so they could buy all this Bitcoin and stuff. But just understanding that they see that if they don't get on the board and figure out how they can have a position in this, they are going to be left all the way out. So yeah, so it's very you know, it's very interesting and very important for us, you know, commoners, you know what I'm saying, to be able to clear up the misconceptions for people so that we don't again miss the boat. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And be aware, be aware, misinformation is all around us. As a black man, you know what misinformation means because you can go anywhere and people might, you know, if you're a tall black man, what are they going to ask you? Oh, you play basketball? You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So
Right.
it's not inconceivable that misinformation would be a misdirection game to keep, you know, like one of these right here. You know what I'm saying? Like so it happens. Right. It happens regularly. As a matter of fact, you should expect it.
Right.
No question.
You know what I mean? So just watch how people move. Just like you said, how you gonna tell me, nah, Bitcoin is the devil, right? All this stuff. Yet make a phone call, and next thing I'm finding on Twitter on Whale Alert that your company just bought $100 million worth of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, man. So, definitely.
Go that way. Listen to what their money says, not what they say out their mouth.
Oh, Nick, you tape that? Did you tape that just now?
Follow the money, baby. Follow the money all over it.
Show me the money, Jerry. Show me the money.
Show me the money, baby.
I want to hear this, Jerry.
Yo.
Straight up.
Man.
And that's another reason I'll say this about Bitcoin as well. That's the greatest thing about it. Like, there are whole countries, first world countries that don't have the market cap of Bitcoin.
Right.
So when we're talking about security, right? Their market cap is like over $2 trillion. Right. So why are we worried about the volatility of it? And we still keep our money. If you living in Japan and your GDP is, or your total market is not even as much as this thing, like, why wouldn't you go with this?
Right.
It's why people hold dollars when they live in like third world countries. So anyway, I'm gonna get off on that, but that's another thing, you know.
Whoa, no, that's real. So, I was having a conversation with my mom's. She was telling me in the 70s you could get 35% APR in a savings account. Right now you get 0.05.
Right.
So that yeah.
35%, what?
35%, and I checked online. It's true, right? Gee. So understanding that was my mother's experience and factual information from her. Yeah. And so she would advise me, listen, you get some money, put it in a savings account. No, Ma, it's not working the same way, right? So yeah, just like from your experience, because I know you touched on like, you know, just in your family and things like that, but just, you know, in people that you come in contact with, people that you rock with, how have you been able to like shift people out of an understanding that doesn't really exist anymore? Like nobody, you cannot, I don't know where to buy it. I don't know where to get an 8-track right now. There's no 8-tracks coming out. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely, that's not going to happen. So like, how do you present it to people so that they can, you know, just kind of come into new information, new understandings, and be able to move, you know, efficiently through those spaces?
How do you explain cryptocurrency to someone that is skeptical by nature because they don't know anything about the world, the space?
Right.
I try to explain to them that cryptocurrency is literally just currency. Like, drop the crypto, right? It's currency. Coins are no different than the coins that you get from the bank, right? And you know, then at that point, you try to give them a historical basis around what you're building for them, this ecosystem, right? So it's just currency. Then you make sure that they understand the basics about how currency is not backed on anything right now. You get what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So if it's just currency, then what's the difference between this US dollar, besides the fact they printed on this pretty green piece of paper, and this USDT coin that is literally the charts the exact same way on paper. It follows the dollar up and down. It's called a
Mhm.
stable token. There's no difference, right? So when it
And
comes to investing, put your money into something that is going to grow, right? And then talk about which coins in the cryptocurrency space are the biggest ones, Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And just tell them Bitcoin is what they call a store of value. Explain what a store of value is. Explain that it's like gold, and explain to them how many major money movers have actually involved in their portfolio, involved Bitcoin in their portfolio.
bingo.
Because people really do listen a lot when you show them other people as well and other entities that are investing in the same type of thing. You get what I'm saying? I do. I do. If
Yeah, yeah,
you tell me, you know, what I'm saying? Elon Musk just bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin and then he made more money off his Bitcoin than he did the entire year selling cars when it was probably one of his best years. I'm like, by pushing a button, maybe I should try that. You know, when would now be the right time?
Pause.
So you got Elon, people like that. You explain to them that Ethereum is like $1, right? And you try to to break down the cryptic barriers that have been set up this way to insulate this space from everyone else. You get what I'm saying? We're special, right? It's not. It's really the same. The same principles in the blockchain, the cryptocurrency space. It literally is a digital copy of the world we currently live in. Just
Mhm.
like the digital copy of your dollars that you got in your bank account is on your phone right now. I can see how much I have. You know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
I can take this money and move it across the sea into my London bank account into GBP, and the GBP can have a bad day, and I lose some money like that. It's There's
Wow.
a difference between what you do in this world and what you do in that world, and getting people to have a certain level of comfort and acceptance of those similarities, I think, is the only way to really get them to fully understand what they're doing.
Whoa. Wow. Yes. 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 Whoa, that's big. Yeah. Cause yeah, it definitely that's a real example because yeah, you just the money that I send to you online, if I send it to my from my bank account,
Right.
I haven't actually touched that money and I haven't put it into your hand, but
No.
you have full confidence that that is money.
Right.
So yeah, oh, so that's what it is.
Full confidence that is, and whatever you got to do in your brain to build that level of security for yourself. I move money around just because I need that for my brain. You know what I'm saying? I want to have it flowing back and forth because in my brain, I still have these anxiety fears about, oh, you know, they got my money. Let me, you know what I'm saying? It's too much, it's too much speculation. I still have that because I'm just skeptical by nature. So
Right.
therefore, personal responsibility says, let me take control of that myself. Let me see if I can control that. Let me go ahead and move some stuff around through these wallets and, in and
Mhm.
out. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
so
Right.
that I'm comfortable with what I'm doing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Oof. Wow.
Pause. Pause. Yo, man. So I want to get into um the NFT concept, right? You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because to me, that's something I'm very, very interested in because you look at what Dave Chappelle did, because Dave Chappelle making history, you know what I mean? That brother, he just elevated from he not even a comedian anymore. You know what I mean? He's so powerful. He basically fought the system and said, don't watch my show until they pay me. You know what I'm saying? And then he got his money, you know what I'm saying? And we all know that when you go into these spaces as creatives, as artists or whatever, they got language like, we gonna own your image and likeness until perpetuity throughout the universe, and we just own everything forever, and
mm,
y'all know what that is. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
So
yeah.
can you speak about the NFT and why that's so critical to artists and creators?
So NFT is the part of the current of the blockchain that I am most recently exploring. So I don't have a wealth of knowledge about NFTs, but I can share with you what I've learned thus far.
Yeah.
So, they call it a non-fungible token, which again, I wish I could just talk to the board of the blockchain. Like, can y'all make these words a little bit less, you know,
Cryptic.
cryptic? You know what I'm saying? What is fungible? Like, I've never even heard that word before. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
It was a curse word.
huh?
I thought it was a curse word. I was like,
Might as well be. You know what I'm saying? Imagine trying to tell somebody about, let me make you an NFT. Nah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
exactly that's the whole crux of the conversation we're having. But the NFT itself is like a digital piece of a digital asset. So not just art, but assets. You know what I mean? You can buy property, digital property, a digital representation of your property. You can buy a digital horse. You can buy a digital car. You can buy a digital, piece of artwork. You can buy a digital CD. It is an asset that is a digital asset. And the reason why music is so and some of this digital art is taken off in such a way is because there's already digital representation in that space. Every time you stream, you're using a digital representation of a song. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
ooh,
So,
oh,
Bars.
so the
Bars.
right. So the issue is, and this is where with me and my next album, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? So, but what the difference is now, the problem with NFTs is people can buy the art, they can buy them themselves, but there's still not the critical mass of humans across the earth that have uh, money in Ethereum to really do it. But at the same time, if you can get the money that you get goes straight into your account, it's all yours. You get what I'm saying? So you're
That's it right
selling a
there.
CD that will cost $9.99 on Apple Music, and you may only see like $1.50 of it. This whole
right.
$9.99 is there, so you only have to sell 10 to 20 times. You can sell 10 to 20 times less merchandise and make the same amount of money.
Wow. Wow.
And also, the thing about NFTs is they're also you can get real represent. You can also sell the real time representation of the thing that you are selling as well. So with NFTs, let's just say I have a piece of art I made, let's just say that piece behind me right here, right? This one.
Yeah.
If I could make an NFT, a digital representation of that, sell the NFT, and as an addition, sell that piece of art as well.
Mm.
So there's a million different ways to do it from what I'm seeing now. And the space will accommodate all. I think the NFT space, when it comes to the blockchain and its incorporation into society, I think this is going to be one of the most important ones because it creates a digital footprint for assets and a way of cataloging the transfer of assets in a much, much, much more efficient way. You get what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like,
absolutely.
sign a deed. I don't have to sign my signature, and then that has to match with this signature, and sign my deed over, and all the paper trail.
Right.
QR code. Boom. You want to buy this? Boom. You got it. It's yours.
Yo, wow. Yeah, I mean, just just an observation from everything you've said.
Yeah.
All of this stuff is really, really going to break down some of the walls and the obstacles that we have had to go through in our existence on this planet right now. Because if I, as an artist, if I can get my music direct to the people who need it, I can and make the total profit off of my music and not be a slave to a record company, then I might be able to actually make music that I feel and that I feel the world needs instead of making music for income. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta eat.
Come on, man.
And so if coming out of prison, I can make my money through the digital space. The large majority of people who have sold drugs, not because they just love cocaine, it's because they needed money. And
Right.
so to take that obstacle out of the way is to create a situation where people have the freedom to tap into their innate purpose on this planet. I don't know too many people whose purpose was to sell weight. You know what I'm saying? So this creates the opportunity. This creates the opportunity for us to function on this earth the way that we're supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Bars.
You know what I'm saying? And to get fly clothes. That's it. Boom. You know what I'm saying? I get all the clothes I want with this Ethereum. I'm stacking right now.
Right.
Word.
Right.
Man, I mean, you said you didn't know about the NFTs, man, and you just broke it down like that. I mean, that made the light bulb go off in my head, man. The way that you broke it down, because that's what we're dealing with. You know what I mean? Really, and you know, I would say especially the art and the creators, but this is any space. You know what I'm saying? If the money behind and the economics behind what we're doing, if we can control that, and there's no eye in the sky looking over our shoulders saying this is the way that things are gonna go, then basically this is affording us a level of freedom to, like he said, to move how we want to move. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you got teachers that want to teach for real and teach the kids. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna get constant resistance because that's not what we're doing here. You know what I mean? We pushing this agenda. And if I'm a nurse, you know what I'm saying, I might tell people, hey, take these herbs, you know what I'm saying, take your vitamins, but that goes against their agenda. So I mean, you know me well, dog. I've been talking about let's get back to the Negro Leagues all my damn life, you know what I'm saying? And then, as soon as you say something like that, people, how are we gonna pay for it? Nobody can, how are we gonna, I mean, we did this way back in the day, so that's a whole nother story, but this is literally the vehicle. You know what I'm saying? How are we gonna pay for it? Boom, here it is.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the thing about this digital space is, eventually the regulation will come, right?
No
But
question.
at the moment, who in this world has a lot of disposable income that they need to do something with if they don't want to leave the blockchain? Folks with Ethereum and Bitcoin and all these other coins, and they make their gains. There are people who want to buy assets right now in this space. It's not a lot. There's not a large mass of people with dollars that are really trying to spend them on assets right now, which is why the art market and all these things are kind of are not doing that well. But another plus to this whole NFT thing is that there are people with disposable income that would love to find a way to use it in this space. It's not so much the same way, on mass, you know what I mean, in the USD, in the US space, the fiat.
Right.
No question. Um, so boom. So the next question that I have for you is, I was having a conversation about what you're doing in this crypto space and the things that you're doing. It was a lot of concepts I wasn't familiar with. So can you kind of speak to, the different platforms you're using and the different strategies? I know it's some community things you're doing. You know what I mean? Can you speak to some of the things that you're doing in this crypto space?
Well, let's go step by step. So community wise, it's just about talking to people that I know and love, you know what I mean, about this. And the more that I become more comfortable with, the more I will share with other people, you know what I mean? And I think that it's entirely important for the Black community to understand this concept for right now. Like, you need to be able to understand these concepts about this thing before it becomes a thing that we can no longer afford to participate in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal, right? With the people that's what I want to be able to, and also I want to have them get it from a Black perspective. I want us to be able to trust us in this space so that we can teach each other.
Yeah.
Insular, so that we're also looking out for those things that would seek to derail our agendas. You get what I'm saying? Our collective agenda.
Right.
Collectively, right? So that's that's what I think about community wise. I mean, the other one you're talking about was it just about different ways to make money in the space, or what was it?
Yeah. Like we was talking, like when we was talking last time, you know, you
Mhm.
was in different spaces and you said you,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So again, I mean, I like to have several different types of wallets. You know, certain platforms. So okay, we talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Now we're talking about Ethereum is an altcoin, but when you're talking about other altcoins, there are coins out there that can give you extreme gains in a very short period of time, right?
Mm.
You got and you I don't really do a lot of that myself. You know, I only put a small portion of my portfolio in those things, but you can put $1,000 in. I know if a guy put $1,000 in, or if he had put $1,000 in shitcoin or something like that, he'd been a millionaire in 2 weeks. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Those possibilities for gains are out there. But you have to have certain platforms to buy the coins. And this is also where I say when you start getting into this level of getting different coins and trying to find those things, get yourself an advisor, get yourself someone you trust that will help you walk you through the system so you don't have any pitfalls. Because again, in decentralized world, if you lose your money, it's gone.
Right, right,
So,
right.
but there are several different types of platforms that you can use to buy your Bitcoin, to sell your Bitcoin. There are even, you know, there's the lady that you know, we had a Black Wall Street crypto thing in town a few days ago, and you know, she's a brick and mortar uh, crypto space. You can literally walk in there and buy or sell your Bitcoin with her in person.
Mm.
You know, there's a million different ways to do what you want to do. I always tell the last person that I was talking to about crypto, and I think it's important for everyone to know is everyone's investment journey, everyone's investment picture is different. It's as unique as your face is. So,
Mhm.
Mm.
though if I'm talking to someone and they're just like, yeah, do whatever you're doing. I don't necessarily like that because everyone's goals are different. I have different goals than you do in my life. I have different expectations of what I want out of my money in my life. So then if you haven't had, you got to make sure you take the time to think about your own investment strategy as it pertains to your life, your goals, you know, your dependents, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And when you have a very clear idea of what you want out of life and what you want out of your investment portfolio the way for your investment portfolio to reflect that will be made. You know,
Right.
was there another one in there, Nick, too?
I mean, the follow up would be, you know, where would you even go? You know what I mean? I'm trying to think. I mean, even me, you know what I'm saying? If you're like, yeah, Nick, go get a crypto advisor, you know what I'm saying? Outside of, you know, the people that we met at that Black Wall Street joint,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
people that are know, like, I wouldn't know where to go. So, what advice would you give to somebody to find an advisor to kind of walk you through that journey?
Well, I mean, look, if it you met a crypto expert,
No question.
Nigel Roberts. You know what I'm saying? You met her.
Question.
Holler at her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
or
what hey, that's where I'm going first. I'm saying besides that,
no, but
you know what I mean? But no doubt, no question.
and then this is where like the
No
research
question.
part comes in. You know me. Ask me who I work with,
Yeah,
and work and schedule a consultation with them. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
You know, whatever you want to do, you can find out how to do it if you just have the right network. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right, right,
And
right.
between Naja Roberts and myself, there's probably very little that you would want to seek an answer to in this space that we couldn't help you find out, and
mm,
vice versa. You get what I'm saying?
no
That's
question.
the whole point of the network, the village. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
Just having those two, you're already almost completely complete. You know.
for sure,
Mm.
for sure. Go
That's,
ahead, go ahead, brother. I got a few more, man, but I know you got some more questions, man. So go ahead.
nah. I mean, nah, man. I'm ooh, I'm about to take a nap. Or the mother. It's real. I'm soaking it in. But so you know, just on the tip of, you know, uh education and mentorship and all of that. Um, so these these forums, these different forums, like some of the two that you gave us earlier. When you in these spaces, is it just to observe, or do you
Ask
fully
no.
act,
You
right?
wanna observe, right? So you're entering a space with novices and experts and everything in between. Now,
Mhm.
you want to be someone that is actually taken seriously with your posts. Do your research before you open your mouth, because these folk will. It's like Black Twitter in there. Like they will. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have all kinds of questions in groups like that. It's like, I got $1,000. What should I invest in? You know what I mean? Because
Right.
because what you are doing is you clearly aren't respecting what we're doing here enough to even do your own research to come with a legitimate question. So you should be extremely involved, but you should have reverence for the thing that you're trying to make money on by doing your own research. And those people will, if you are one of those people, then you can have conversations with people who are experts who will be more than happy to teach you what they know, because they feel like you have a certain level of respect for what they have spent the
Mm.
time to do themselves. And
Ooh.
it's like anything else, bro. It's like anything else. When I was trying to study music, and
Yeah.
I found someone that could sing really well, I didn't go in and be like, "Hey, teach me how to do that." You know what I mean? Nah. I'd be like, "Hey, I'm struggling with this particular vowel on this particular note,
Mm.
and I saw how you approached the same note in your
Come on,
song.
man.
Can you help me to do this in my song?" You get what I'm saying? So
Yes.
I got $1,000 to invest. What should I invest in? Spend some time looking at people and what they've invested in. Like you'll see, you get posted there like, I told you about this last week. I just made, a 20,000% return on my investment, or a 400% return on my investment.
Right.
Then
Right.
you can ask questions like, "Oh man, let me know when the next one comes up," or follow them. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
And then if you have a question, it's not about I got to invest in something. It's like, what do you think about this coin? I'm struggling to find. Can you help me? Can you give me an article about Ethereum, the Ethereum 2 network coming out? You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
that kind of thing. If you see something that you want to know more about and you can't find it, then you ask that question.
Right. Right. Nah, big time. Big time.
Yeah.
So so with that, right? So with that being in mind, so something that's getting all the attention, like a Dogecoin. Being that it started as a joke, da 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 da. But do you think that a joke can now become a valid coin? Because I mean, all the coins are dependent on usership. You know what I'm saying? And if
Yeah.
people use it, if people gonna start accepting it, then it's gonna grow. So do you think? Because I was reading that with SpaceX, they're gonna start accepting Dogecoin for that. So if you think that if the right institutions get behind it, it can become a long-standing investment.
Oh yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, I was just thinking about this, and I always make analogies about stuff. You remember that song by Lumity called "Uh-Oh"? Remember that song?
Yeah.
It's the most trash singing, trash
Yeah.
everything, no lyrics, nothing. And it started as a joke. I'm telling you not. The people that produced this song were like, I bet I can make a hit on anything.
Are you serious?
Yes, because
Um,
Lumity can't sing.
Come on, man.
yo.
Like,
Uh-oh.
right. It's terrible, right? She had no singing experience, but that song made a hit.
Yeah. Right.
Now, there's a whole bunch of other better songs out there, and there's a whole bunch of other better artists. There's a whole bunch of other better projects that have had better longevity, but
Right.
Uh-Oh is still out there. And people made their money on Uh-Oh, right?
Right.
So
Ooh.
Dogecoin can make money. Absolutely. That's why I say, a good marketing team is just as good as anything else. I mean, any musician with an album out will tell you that.
Mm,
But it's just the substance that is questionable about Dogecoin. What is it?
right.
What does it actually do?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because something like Ethereum has a use case on the blockchain. You get what I'm
Mm,
saying? There's
absolutely.
a specific use for Ethereum. There's a specific use for Chainlink. There's a specific use for Uniswap.
Yeah, definitely.
So in my investment portfolio, I like to go for things that have specific use cases
Mm.
Gotcha.
that I could potentially hold long term. Now you're gonna get those spikes like Dogecoin over time. It just may not happen as quickly because everyone's talking about it at that point. You get what I'm saying? That's
Right.
happened because they spent the past 6 months building a new and more innovative way to be useful on the blockchain. No marketing behind it, but you just look back and your coin has gone up to the same, degree.
Right. Right.
But
Mm,
it's just, and this is where marketing is, because this technological world is all built on everyone on their phones. If you pay someone enough to put your coin in their phone all over the world, then people are buying.
As that's payola, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay you to put on the radio. Let's
So
go.
yeah, so if you got a, let's
That's
just
it.
say LeBron James comes out with a coin, I'll probably buy some of that because I know a whole bunch of people that will be doing the same, but I will certainly not hold that for too long unless it has a use case on the blockchain.
Facts.
You know.
Ooh, yeah, man. Yeah, definitely.
Yo, man, two
All,
more, man.
outcome is income, bro.
Mm,
All outcome is income. I try my best not to be critical of too many people's journeys into whatever. I got plenty of friends that bought Dogecoin. I didn't buy any Dogecoin. Now I'm a little salty because they made some money, and I'm like, I was talking trash, and now you know, you know what I'm saying? But selflessness when it comes to how you share your information is the only way that we're going to really be able to capitalize on this completely,
There it is.
because I can't have a spirit of coveting your coins and coveting what you've done if the whole goal is for us all to eat, and there's
right.
tons of food out there.
Come on, man.
So my investment portfolio reflects what I want out of my own finances. Your investment portfolio included the possibility for Dogecoin. Mine didn't. I'm proud of you for getting your money, and I will continue to study your mentality to see if there's something I want to incorporate into mine. But good on you, black man, get your money. You know what I mean? That's
Hey,
all it is.
woo.
Preach.
Yeah, man. Come on with it.
Yo, man, I got two more questions, man.
All right, Nick.
I know we're getting long winded.
No, I can talk about this. I'm literally gonna get off this call and do some more of it.
We're gonna have some time intervals on the video, man, where you could just go to get exactly what you need, man. Because
Right.
it's getting lengthy. But yeah, so all right, so I want to ask a question. I kind of got a better understanding now, but I want to ask this question from the perspective of when I first bought some Bitcoin, right? So, you know what I mean, I had $50, you know what I'm saying? So that joint was like 0.000, you know what I mean? And I was like, what the hell did I just buy? I almost wanted to get that thing back. You know what I'm saying? So can you break down the Satoshi and all of that? And what are you really buying? Like nobody got, we might not have $56,000. So what are you really buying when you putting $5, $10, $50? What are you really buying?
You're buying Satoshis.
Yeah.
I'm about to look up exactly how many Satoshis there are in a Bitcoin. 100 million Satoshis in a Bitcoin. And I think we were talking earlier about, we were talking about, looking at Ethereum and Bitcoin looks like, $60,000, and Ethereum is like $1,000. Oh, but then you got Dogecoin that's like, 0.00009, right?
Right.
These are not real. This has nothing to do with the actual underlying value of the actual asset you're buying. If you have 500 US dollars and you put that into Dogecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin or whatever, you're going to get the same amount of potential growth, right? Just because you own 100 million Doge and only 0.001 Bitcoin doesn't mean that your investment is you got more money. See,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So anyone that thinks on those in that way has to understand the principle of what you're really investing in and what your money is actually really doing. So Bitcoin is one whole Bitcoin is equal to the most underlying value of it, which is called a Satoshi. Satoshi is the smallest interval that Bitcoin to be divided into. So again, analogy wise, a dollar versus a penny, right? Or $100 bill versus a penny. Penny is the smallest unit divided that this US dollar can be divided into, right? That's what a Satoshi is.
Okay.
So you don't have to buy a whole damn $100 bill. You can just buy a penny, right?
Right.
So knowing that, and if you really break down what the price of Bitcoin is in Satoshis, then you will, if that is what your mind needs, then you'll get a more accurate reading of what you're really buying, right? So you're accumulating Satoshis, not necessarily, unless you got lots and lots of money, you can accumulate Bitcoins. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
so that's the thing about Bitcoin that a lot of people don't know is the Satoshi versus the Bitcoin thing. And not to think about your investment when it comes to the money that you see it as on the exchange, right? Bitcoin's $60,000. I can't afford that.
Right.
You see, you. But that is also by design. People don't want you. They don't want you to be involved in this.
Right.
Apple stock, it's or the S&P 500 is a lot of money per share, but you can buy fractional shares.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you worried about the price of it when you are literally just trying to make the money that you want to make on it? If Bitcoin goes up 10% and you bought $500 or $100 worth of it, you know what I'm saying? You made $10.
Right.
You still made 10%.
Right.
So who
Yeah.
cares about a whole Bitcoin? Because the money that you put in is made the 10%.
Yeah. Yo, that's the crucial thing. Like in me teaching people just about the crypto space, I'm like, yo, stop looking at the numbers. You just worried about the percentages. And like, if you're looking at it like, just like you're saying, like with the Satoshi, like that is an intimidating term for a lot of people. But it's like, no, it's a unit. You know what I'm saying? The same way you got pounds. So if you go to the store to get if you go to the deli to buy some turkey, you know what I'm saying? You like, yo, if it's $5 a pound, that pound is the unit of measurement. Yo, I need $5 worth of cheese. You know what I'm saying? So if it's $7.99 a pound, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, give me $5 worth. You know what I'm saying? However, you know what I mean? So it's not a concept that you don't know of or you're not aware of, but it's just all you need is a few terms to intimidate someone into thinking that they have no idea what this is.
That's
You know what I'm
it.
saying?
And all you need is cryptocurrency itself is a term that is intimidating.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you just did it. You said, yo, look, honestly, look, I've been in the crypto space for 5 years and I've never just broke it down and be like, oh, wait, crypto currency. Yes, it's just currency.
Bro. It's like, oh, you want to buy some pounds? Yeah, I got some.
Right.
I got some pounds in my wallet right now. Like, I also got some Bitcoin in my digital wallet right now too, and I got some pounds in that. So like,
Right.
the mental anxiety that happens around finances, especially in the Black community, is something that has always been there.
Right.
Even with stocks, even back in the day when stocks were just starting out in the 80s and all those options and things that are now commonplace in the market. When they first came out, folks didn't really mess with that either.
Right. Not at all. No.
And this
We
is
don't have
much more straightforward than that.
yeah, we don't have conversations about money. You know what I'm saying? We don't, it's definitely a distrust in this system, rightfully so. But as long as we are the purveyors of information and like being able to disseminate the information to our people in a way that they can understand and they can trust, then we could break down those barriers. You know what I'm saying? Those barriers of access of information. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely.
So, yo, man, my last question is on the security tip. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to have we're gonna make a series of this, and we getting ready to open the conversation of how different people can join this conversation. It's gonna be an ongoing thing. It's gonna be a community thing, like you were saying. But I really want to get into the security. You know what I mean? So like, if you go onto a platform and you start purchasing a coin, then you're gonna get, you know, like a Bitcoin address. You know what I'm saying? You get a different wallet. You know what I'm saying? So I know in order to exist and in terms of trading one coin for the other, you got to kind of be on certain platforms to trade. But in terms of like buying and holding that, you want to kind of tap into, you know, maybe the hardware wallets or whatever. So
Mhm.
can you speak to how secure is your money or how secure is your currency on these trading platforms? And then once you get these seed phrases and everything, what's the best way to secure that? And then what's the utility of that hardware wallet? And then is that all the way secure? Is that the highest level of security that you can get if you hold it on your assets?
Um, so yeah, so there's certain varying degrees of security. First of all, no matter where you go, no matter what wallet you use, you need to make sure that you utilize all the security measures that each platform has to offer you. Don't think that, oh, I got, a password, I'm good. No, get all the KYC stuff done. Get your Google authenticator put on there. You know what I'm saying? Get your secondary password set up, get all your keys, all your pass, all that stuff. As much security as you can have, because the space is still deregulated, right? So you aren't going to have a lot of people helping you get your money back if you're a victim of fraud, right? Which in some cases, that's the same way that would happen if someone stole your money on the street. What you gonna do? They took your $50. What you gonna call somebody to get it back? They're gone. You know what I'm saying? So there are precedents in the real world.
For sure.
Um, you
For
know,
sure.
so but as far as wallets are concerned, the exchange is probably the most is provides the least level of security because you don't necessarily own that coin outright until you move it, right?
Mm,
So let's just call for Binance or Coinbase. Those are exchanges that you keep your money in their wallets, right? Your money in the wallets is yours, of course it is, but it's also on an exchange, right? So you
Mm.
move. So that's a I guess, like Najee Roberts said, you call that hot, right? Warm
right.
wallet. So then you move to the next level of security is what is called a decentralized wallet off of an exchange, right? Just a wallet in on the blockchain. Something like MetaMask is like that.
Right.
The Black Wall Street's wallet is like that. I
Mm,
was telling you about D Duncan, his wallet is like that, right?
mm,
It exists on the blockchain. It's your wallet. It doesn't have any affiliation with the exchanges. It's not an exchange at all. So you can't transfer your money out into fiat necessarily. You have to transfer it through an exchange to get it out into your US dollar, right? But you can hold your money there and it's more secure because the money is in your own personal wallet, right? Then you have um, what's called a cold wallet, which once you accumulate enough money on this space that you feel like I don't want to lose this, you know what I'm saying? Put it onto a cold wallet, or if you're especially if you're gonna hold it long term. Let's just say, God willing, you get a whole Bitcoin. You know, you want to put that somewhere secure. You put it on a cold wallet, which is something that looks like a USB almost, and it has 25-word encrypted messages on there, and you have to have it plugged into your device in order to access it. You get what I'm saying? And to
Yeah.
it, that's what's called a cold wallet, and that's it's nice to have all three, and it's also nice to because you want to be able to move things in between these wallets very you want to have a understanding of the relationship of how these things work. But the most secure, I would say, would definitely be your cold wallet. Now when it comes to your keys, you need to secure those somewhere that nobody but your mama and them know about. You know what I'm saying? Like, and your cold wallet itself, the actual device, put it in a safe, treat it like gold.
Mm.
Bitcoin is gold, and you have your gold on a actual block, right? Secure like you would secure a block of gold for $60,000, and that will show you exactly how much security you would need to hold that. and your private keys need to be somewhere safe that's not in on a cloud somewhere. You get what I'm saying? Somewhere
So
safe.
it's like
Right.
you get that seed phrase or whatever. You
Yes.
pretty much write that down. You don't want to copy and paste that nowhere. You pretty much write that down and then just put that somewhere. Just like you said, treat it like a real asset.
Treat it like a real asset. And also, the the most important thing is not to lose that.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
let's not be so hell bent on keeping the folk away that you you wrote that down on a piece of paper and you lost a piece of paper.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're the type of dude that is not very responsible, know yourself. Put that thing, put that thing in the on the four corners of the world, and you know what I'm saying. Like, make sure you have backups and backups and backups, but make sure that those backups are secure.
Right. Right.
You know,
Mm.
you know.
Nah, bro.
That's
Look,
that's major, man. Mario, you got anything else, man?
nah, man. Nah. I'm ready to go. Okay. I'm about
Yo,
to,
man, you
about to
gave us
cup
a
it
full
like that.
full course meal, man. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, big. I don't want no dessert. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a peppermint or nothing, man. It's nap time. It's
Hey,
crazy.
Word, man. But I mean, Elias, man, you already know you my brother, man, and so I appreciate you in that regard. And then even in just this intellectual space, man, and being able to break it down and be able to come together and create spaces, like you said, where we can come together and trust each other. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And I especially one thing I do want to say, man, I just on this phone call, I developed a whole nother level of respect for you. Um, just and how you approach your craft, you know what I'm saying? And then how that transitioned into the crypto space. Because the first thing I thought about was my mentor, you know what I'm saying? Because he was talking about, you know what I mean, when he was going to the lectures or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And, during the lecture, he would say, read this book, read that book, you know what I mean? They actually went and read them books like they did work for 3 years
Yes.
before they could
Mm,
even ask a question to
Yes.
the masters.
Yes.
Because if you don't do that, you show your ignorance with your question.
Right.
You
mm,
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then
Right.
the other flip side, if you do the work, you show that you're doing the work, and then the master can see that you're doing the work, and he can appreciate that. And then you've won the opportunity, of you've earned the opportunity to get that knowledge from him, man. So that's, to me, that's like not even cryptocurrency or music, just in just a natural process. I got a whole level of respect for you, man, just by living your life like that and being able to translate that into cryptocurrency. So for me, that was the biggest takeaway, man. So, I definitely appreciate you for that, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to know that we both appreciate that style of learning, because I think that's the best way to do it.
No
Sean,
question.
Yeah.
No question.
Sean.
It's real scholarship over here, man. We're not playing
Yeah,
the
man.
punk over here. For sure, for sure. But yeah, man, that's all we got, man. Unless Elias, you want to leave them with something, or you think we're good to go?
I think we're pretty much good to go, man. And whoever listens to this, you know what I'm saying? Look, regardless of whether you listen to this and you're like, okay, I need to get out and get involved in a space. If you were intrigued at all, I mean, try your best to just do some more research, because, you know, this is one of the most revolutionary things that we've had come across. I think in my lifetime, this is the most revolutionary thing that's happened to us
Mm,
since the internet.
Yeah.
big time.
And and given the way the world is working right now financially and how completely inflated we are globally financially, really take a look at it and make your own choices, and try to learn as much as you can so that you can be prepared for whatever will come our way as a world over the next few years.
Mm,
Mm,
sure indeed. Oof.
that's major, man. Last thing I want to say is, when y'all listening to this, join the conversation. You know what I'm saying? This is the website right here, oyoenterprises.com. Go to OYO Crypto, and then you can just get involved. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is put your name and your email in there, and you're pretty much a part of our community. We're gonna be having these weekly conversations and just learning more. You know what I mean? So make sure that y'all tap in, ask us whatever questions. You know, we gonna keep growing this network. We gonna keep growing. So yeah, if y'all want to join this conversation, oyoenterprises.com, and we gonna leave it right there, man. Amari, always
Yeah.
a pleasure, brother. You know, we doing this work, so it's a pleasure to be doing this thing with you, brother, man. And I love
Man.
it's a
Yeah,
true
thanks.
honor, man, to bring you in this space, man, and to be moving as grown men. You know, because you know we've been rocking since we was youngins, man. So
Yeah.
Indeed, son.
Oh, yeah.
grown men, it's an honor, man. So you know,
I won't call you what I normally call you on your Zoom, but you know.
But we all know, brother.
yeah,
We all
cool.
know.
Keep that encrypted. Keep that encrypted.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm gonna get an I'm gonna print it out and I'm gonna make an NFT for it. So
That's
what
about flashing lights.
Hey, that's gonna be worth some money too, goddamn.
about days, son?
I'd buy it.
Word. But yeah, much love to y'all brothers, man. Y'all be
Yeah.
safe, man. And
Love,
yeah,
brother. Thank you so much for the opportunity, man.
It's all
Yeah.
love, Nick. Appreciate it, man.
until the
All
next time, man. Peace. Hotep.
Take care.
Peace.
Hotep.